From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by
Vitamin Energy. The vitamins.
The energy.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
and Corey Clark.
Wake up! It's Wake Up Warchant presented by Vitamin Energy. Coming up on today's show, what? The offense wins the day. Receivers playing well, we discuss. And a deep dive into DJ Uiagalelei has passed something you wouldn't believe his former coach said about him and stacking him up to the rest of the competition in the playoff chase. Wake Up Warchant is presented by Vitamin Energy. Website, vitaminenergy.com. Promo code WarchantBogo. Merge the two. Go to the website. Use the promo code. Get a free pack of Vitamin Energy. 12 bottles, everybody. You buy 12, you get 12 free. You buy 24, you'll get 24 free. See how that all works out? Actually, no, that's not the way it works out. Is it the way it works out? Buy one, get free?
Of course it is. Yeah, I think.
Incredible. Yeah, you can. It's scalable. It's not just one. I think you buy 5 and you'll get 5 for free.
You could buy 100 and then get 100 free. But only once, right?
Right, correct. So make it count.
Yeah.
Clinically tested, clinically proven, Vitamin Energy. Energy, vitamins, nutrients, 260 milligrams, all natural caffeine, no sugar crash, kosher, non-GMO. I think it's even made in America. It's made in America. Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. 5-star rating and review, everybody. Comment on the YouTube show. We've got a lot of cleaning to get to. Housekeeping. I never get that right, Corey.
Right.
All right, so first off, I don't want to say this. I should have asked you this off air. Couple people say that the Regulators quotes from the original Young Guns and not Young Guns 2.
That's
that possible?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
That is absolutely correct. Okay. I don't even know. Yeah, Young Guns 2, it's like a whole, he's rolling with Pat Garrett, and then he's with Christian Slater. No, Young Guns, the original, is with it's with Kiefer Sutherland, both of them. Yes, they call themselves the Regulators. Regulators mount up, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yep, that's the original Young Guns. My fault, everyone.
I think our guy Jason was the first one in the comments to clarify that by skinning a cat, they're actually talking about a catfish.
Oh.
Which changes everything, doesn't it?
Really?
Multiple people have said yes. Somebody I think even said,
like
as a Southerner, I can vouch for this.
Why would that have not been clarified decades ago, centuries ago? Why would not just say there's a million ways to skin a catfish? It's one extra syllable.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. Come on, Corey. You know how everything's all about pizzazz and sizzle.
Yeah, you're right. I just thought adding one extra syllable it's a pretty big difference between a cat and a catfish. And I'm sure there's people listening to this say don't skin catfish either. To which I'd say grow up.
Yes.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Just kidding, everyone. We all have our loves. We all have our the things that we hold dear. But yes, that doesn't bother. It would bother me to see someone skinning a catfish. A cat. It would not bother me to see someone skinning a catfish.
Shout out to our guy Fat Boy 243 at the gym in my FSU attire. A guy comes up to me saying that he's probably the biggest Nole fan there is. So I asked him, "How'd you like Wake Up this morning?" And he's like, "Wake Up? Yeah, Warchant. Wake up, bro." He didn't have a clue. Come on, man. You ain't no biggest fan.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Well said.
Tell him about it. Also, somebody was saying, Corey, don't buy the hype. Florida State at 10. That's not underranking the Noles when Alabama lost their head coach and a whole bunch of players, and Michigan lost their head coach and a whole bunch of players, and they're ranked ahead of the Noles. What's up with that?
Okay.
Just something.
Well, I mean, it's just people's opinions.
There was one other thing here I needed to get to. Some dude that just said that he's been listening to the show for a long time, and we got him through his mornings, but now we get him through his lunch breaks as he's at school right now to try to get like a degree in being an electrician. And he says he'll join us back on the subscription side once the money starts rolling in. So that's cool. Come back home, everybody. Sometimes you got to leave. Sometimes you might have to walk away from the subscription. But come back.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Let's come back. Corey, Tuesday was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I go onto the practice field. You're still up in your spot, Hawkeyeing it all. I'm inside trying to watch some pass rush, It's a little bit monotonous, and I turn around, I notice the music's jamming. They're doing little one-on-ones, goal line edition. Maybe dropping back from the 5 or so. And I don't know, man. Patrick Surtain might need to get that resume ready, man. I don't know what happened, but his guys got dusted. The receivers had that period. I don't know if maybe we could say the offense won the day, but in terms of like a dominant period, my goodness, the receivers put on an absolute show during one-on-ones in the red zone, tight zone on Tuesday. Really good to see.
It looks like to skin a cat originated in the 1850s in England. And it actually meant it was to kill a cat.
No.
That was the saying. And there's more than one. There's more ways to kill a cat than choking it with cream.
Oh my God.
Which also was an offshoot of there are more ways of killing a dog than choking him with pudding. Which, man, I know we all have obstacles in our lives. We all have tough times. But just pray to the heaven above and thank whoever you have to thank that you weren't living in the 1850s. Because apparently they were choking dogs with pudding and choking cats with cream just to write about it, just to have something to do because it was so boring and gross back then. But, yes, it does say that in the South it's come to mean more about catfish, but that this person anyway seems to think, this website, seems to think that's more of just like culture, almost cultural appropriation. That the original intent was from England. But either way.
Who's more refined now then, huh? Those Brits
yeah,
are us down
right.
in the South, huh?
Yep, dang right. Dang right. So anyway, I'm glad we cleared that up. You guys don't have to listen anymore, but because now we're going to talk about Florida State football. Yeah, man, I thought the receivers, by far from what I've watched, the practices I've watched, which really I just missed the two in Jacksonville.
Man, don't be so hard on yourself, man. Come on.
But, yes, it was by far the best they've looked. I want to start with, again, we talked about this on headlines. I don't know if it's a thing. I'm certainly not counting on it being a thing. But for the second day in a row, Deuce Spann was a thing. He ended up – now some of this is scout team or situational stuff. But by my count, I think he caught 5 touchdown passes.
Ooh.
Now, again, literally 4 of them were from inside the 5-yard line on kind of special plays. One was against scout team, maybe 2. And then he had 2 one-on-ones from inside the 5. But he won them both, including one over Shaheem Brown, which he beat him badly. Maybe it's turned into a thing. I don't know. It's going to have to take more than 2 days. I know people listen to this. You don't want to hear about Deuce Spann necessarily as like the savior or wideout.
Listen, anybody, Corey, we don't care. I know you think we want like it to be some veteran that's been here forever. I don't care who it is, man. Just somebody.
Well, he is a veteran.
Step up.
He is a veteran who's been here forever. And but I think overall the more overarching point was I thought Malik Benson was good again. He is. But I thought that and Ja'Kai had a good day, but I thought that Portier, Williamson, and Deuce Spann all had really nice days and kind of had 2 good days in a row, these 3 guys.
Yeah.
And I just think as we get closer to the season opener and then we get closer to September, I just think it's much more likely and helpful that those 3 guys are playing the majority of your reps early in the season. Maybe they get overtaken by the freshmen. Maybe. But right now, it was really good to see those 3 guys out there making plays. Like Portier made a really nice catch in one-on-ones for a touchdown. Williamson had a touchdown
to himself,
catch.
right?
Yes, he did. Deuce had 2 touchdowns just in one-on-ones. And also against it's the scout team, but caught like a 50-yard touchdown to essentially end practice. He's made all the catches. He looks to be where he's supposed to be. Maybe the light has come on, and he sees real opportunity here and might actually be playing a lot come Dublin. But, yeah, I just think that overall the passing game was better than it has been. It's like they answered the challenge. Norvell was not happy with them on Monday at all. Yeah. And they seemed to respond really well. Like I kept count. They did 24. So, Aslan, if they run 24 one-on-one plays –
right.
With wide receivers versus DBs, which they normally do in the one-on-one portion of practice. Now, normally it's in the middle of the field. Out of those 24 plays, how many are completions, typically?
So when they're in the red zone or when they're doing it?
No, just when they're in the middle of the field.
Oh, man.
My guess would be like 6 to 8.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to go in the low teens. Really?
I don't know.
I haven't been watching
you
as
talked
much as
one
you
time
this year. I'm thinking about
but
last
you tracked
year.
one where it was 13 incompletions in a row.
Well, that's from the red zone though. Yeah, I just think generally it always seems like it's they lose one, they win one. They lose one, they win one. Whenever they do it from like the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I see now. Maybe it's recency bias, but on Monday I believe it was 5 out of 18 that they caught. I think they did 18. They might have done 24. They had 5 catches. Well, from the 4-yard line going in, so the opponent's 4-yard line, they were 12 of 24 with touchdown catches. Or no, 13 of 24. That's a great hit rate because it's not easy. You have, I know you only have one defender, but you have multiple other defenders in the sideline, the back of the end zone, and for them to make those catches, some of them were great catches. Others were great routes, like LaWayne McCoy ran a sensational route to get free for a touchdown. Malik Benson ran a great route to beat Azarie on the first rep. Now, Azarie came back and locked him up twice the next 2 reps, but good for them. That's a great battle. But, man, I was just really impressed, first off, with the one-on-one, that they seem to take the challenge and respond and make tough catches. And then, obviously, they carried that over into 7-on-7 and 11-on-11, too. But the one-on-ones in particular was really good to see.
I know we can't talk about injuries, but what I noticed was that Darion was in a white jersey on Tuesday. And, man, I'm hoping, Coach Norvell, that there's a statute of limitations of what we can talk about. But you want to talk about how many reps are caught when they do one-on-ones? I want to know the stats on how many times Darion Williamson's not been in a green jersey like the last 2 seasons. So maybe that's tough. Something too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been hard for him to stay healthy, get healthy, are healthy, and he's healthy enough to play, but be full speed. He needs to be full speed. This is his last chance. He needs to be full speed. Obviously, Deuce, and McCoy looks like he's back to whatever was ailing him is done. They played well. Yes, I just think Williamson, Portier, and Deuce Spann, probably the first 2. More than Deuce so far. Maybe if Deuce stacks on another couple of days, I will really believe, okay, he's a player because, man, you love everything. I mean, 6'4", can run like the wind, is a veteran. He hasn't shown the ability to get open consistently and then catch the ball when he does. But if that's happening, if that's going to happen, man, that's a great thing. But I think Portier and Williamson could be a big part of this offense early. I think we're to the point now, right? And I hope I'm wrong, but we're to the point in August of 2024 that we know that those 2 guys aren't special, right?
Yeah.
But I think I think McCoy and Elijah Moore both have a chance to be special. I think their ceilings. I know their ceilings are higher than Portier and Williamson, but week 1. I absolutely, and probably week 4 or 5, I absolutely think that Portier and Williamson make your offense's ceiling higher right now. Because the guy that's calling plays can scheme it open as long as the good athletes out wide can get themselves, can know where they're supposed to be and can read a defense conceptually. And I think these guys have obviously a much better chance of doing that. And I was reminded, not just in the one-on-ones, that the receivers played very well, but in 7-on-7 and 11-on-11, they were making plays. All of them. But, Darian, I don't know if Darian caught any, but Portier got wide open on a great play that DJ underthrew him, but he's right there. Deuce had a couple catches in 7-on-7, 11-on-11. It's like, okay, these guys that are kind of, honestly afterthoughts, have been afterthoughts, are forethoughts now. Like, they're going to be a part of this offense, and they might be a big part.
The good part of Tuesday as well, I think, Corey, is that, again, largely what I'm basing my takeaway from Tuesday is what I saw in that red zone one-on-one drill, is that that's just athleticism almost. That's just pure athlete versus pure athlete, instinct versus instinct. Who can be more the dog than the other guy? I only remember seeing one kind of play that got busted during 11-on-11, 7-on-7. Like it was Malik and another receiver, and I think it might have been Azarie and Shaheem. And they're both, it's 2 receivers, 2 defensive backs, and they run their routes, and just terrible communication or something where Azarie and Shaheem do not communicate properly. They do not hand off coverage responsibilities at all, and then Malik Benson ends up being wide open down the field for a huge gain, would have been a touchdown in a game situation. Like, that wasn't something that happened throughout the practice on Tuesday. So it's not one of those things where your DBs look sloppy or lost. Like, I think that moment, that period that we're referencing now here strongly in the show, man, that's just like go out athlete the other guy. Like, want it more than he wants it. Not that the receivers haven't been playing with passion, haven't been playing with effort, but I think you said it really well in the beginning of the show too, Matt. Norvell, I don't think, was happy on Monday, and I'm sure he challenged those guys. They took the challenge to heart, and they came out and they performed at that level. So it makes you feel that when the lights are on, they know everything's going to count, everything's going to matter, that they'll get the best foot forward, and we'll get a little bit more of the glimpse of Tuesday than we had the previous 15 days.
Yeah, and they did hit, Jaylen Brown in 7-on-7 had a couple of big catches over the middle for about 20, 25 yards. That obviously was good to see. But you're right, like Malik Benson, he got open. It was miscommunication. It wasn't like just he sprinted. But it's clearly there was something that happened that wasn't supposed to happen. But your senior quarterback saw it.
Yeah.
And put it up there. Really nice throw, right where it needed to be for what would have been, I just looked at the notes, a 56-yard touchdown. That's good to see, too. Like, there was a play later on where I think it was Brock. It might have been Luke. I think it was Brock, where he completely missed a guy wide open in the flat that would have been an easy touchdown. Just didn't see him. Like, almost lost consciousness of him. Didn't realize he was over there. Well, that comes with experience. That comes with it. And it's good to see that if you do have a bust in coverage, more often than not, the guy that's played 40 games of college football at a high level against good teams will see it. And that was good because you're right. That almost never happens. DJ must have been like, what in the world? There's a guy running open like that in 11 on. What in the world's going on? But he didn't panic. He put it right on him. And then he also made early in 11 on 11, I don't know if you saw that one, when they were outside, he hit Toafili for a 75-yard touchdown.
I got a star.
Great throw, great route. Yeah. I don't think that was miscommunication. It might have been, but I think it was just Toafili beating the defender because he's fast and good for what would have been a 75-yard touchdown. So it's just good to see that again, to know that's there. And then they stacked on top of that, just not two big plays and the rest was muck. They had some nice plays and nice moments in 7-on-7. And then the one-on-ones, like we said, it's hard inside the 5-yard line to get like wide open. You have to go make catches on the boundary, near the boundary, contested. Amari Williams made an incredible catch, which is what he does to close out the one-on-ones. I think Kromenhoek threw a really good throw, but just a remarkable catch. Brian Courtney made it like a juggling catch to himself, I think. I think he got his feet down. Ja'Kai got his feet down. They were making contested, good Division I college receiver type catches. And it's one of those days, Aslan, and it's probably one day, and I'm a prisoner of the moment. I get it. Tomorrow I might be on here talking about how they're awful. They had no chance. They're not going to score against anyone this year. But you see, 1 minute Toafili's beating someone for a 75-yard touchdown, passing-wise. The other minute, let's say Cam Davis is running around right end for 15 yards, and then there's Roy Dell running around the right end for 12 or 15 yards, or around left end, and there's Deuce in the middle of the field. But there's also Jalen Lucas taking a little swing pass, and yikes, look at that. And then Ja'Kai making plays in the middle field. The most excited I thought Norvell got all day was, I think it was 7-on-7. It might have been 11, I can't remember. But DJ makes a throw underneath to Ja'Kai, and he's kind of running. He's running one way. Like, let's say he's running to his left. DJ throws it, like, behind him, kind of. And I think it was intentional because of where the defender was. Ja'Kai catches it on a dime, stops, does like a half spin, and then there he goes. He's off to the races. And Norvell said great job to Ja'Kai because it's like you forget about that. We don't really get to see or appreciate just how tough guys like Toafili, Lucas, and Ja'Kai are to tackle in space. And Norvell's whole game plan is to get the really special guys that are special with the ball in their hands, the ball in space in one-on-one opportunities, and then it's up to them to go make the play. Well, for a few plays on Tuesday, you were reminded, oh, yeah, they can go make plays. So whether Deuce Spann ends up being something, whether Portier and Williamson come on or keep coming on, or if it just ends up being Malik Benson and then these other guys I just talked about to go along with Morlock, Yeah, it was one of those days where you kind of see what maybe the ceiling of this offense can be if the receivers and tight ends continue to make plays like that.
Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, Tallahassee, Florida, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's when they're down to party, everybody.
Yeah.
You can take advantage of their lunch specials from 11 a.m. That's when they open until 3 p.m. for only $8.99 Monday through Friday. On Wednesdays, you get 5 chicken wings and French fries. Don't even have to think about the side dish. They pair together so well. 5-piece chicken wings and French fries. I need to actually double check on this, Corey. Maybe it's chicken wings and French fries and you get another side dish.
It could be.
Could be.
Only one way to find out. Go and ask.
That's right. 2475 Appalachia Parkway. CPTallybar.com, the website. Hopefully you enjoyed your trivia on Tuesday night, everybody. Don't forget, bingo goes down Thursdays, 7 o'clock. Cash prizes, everybody. And I don't know if somebody was being smart alecky in the YouTube comments, but they said, are there billiards at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill? 2 of them.
There are. There's two tables. So, yeah, there's always billiards going on. There's also a lot of darts. But, yeah, he has a couple of pool tables as well. And a little nugget here, Aslan, about Corner Pocket. He's coming out with new menus here soon, apparently. And there's a chance, seems like there's a pretty good chance, that one of the items is named after your boy. Just throwing that out there. Might have my name on the menu. We're going to see.
Okay, like the Corey, the Clark, the Sea Dog. Like what we know.
The Corey.
Okay,
yeah.
Corey.
Oh, you'll know it. You'll see it. It's the. He showed me like the proof of it, and I was like, yeah, that works. So yeah, it's supposed to have my name, just the Corey. So we'll see.
Is it? I mean, don't give away the deal. Is it something new that he's been thinking about and he likes you so much he's putting your name on it, or is it something?
No,
that
what it is.
Have you inspired it?
It's an item that I've always ordered, but I've altered it.
Oh,
like there's something like it's a sandwich, but I like it as a wrap. So that's where it comes from.
Ooh, can't wait. Details forthcoming.
It's exciting, right?
Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. We spoke to Tony Tokars after practice on Tuesday, Corey.
What'd he say?
Called DJ Uiagalelei super mature, film junkie. This is what he wants to do, and it shows. Biggest growth from spring to now, comfort in operation of the system.
Okay.
All that to me sounds very, man, we love this kid. He's doing all the right things, but we'll find out August 24th if it all is going to work when the live ball. Because he also mentioned it too, that they learn a decent amount in a scrimmage, but nothing ever gets them totally prepared or total apples to apples comparison. Then, yeah, when the TV cameras are on, the lights are on, the scoreboard's running, and everybody's going crazy in the stand. So, really good things to hear about the quarterback, though. I mean, I'm going to need to see stuff out of DJ to think that something has been unlocked. I give the benefit of the doubt to the staff. I know this kid's worked his tail off, but I, for some reason, have this weird trauma about, like, Dabo stuck by him as long as he thought he possibly could. Like, when people were calling for his, DJ to be benched, Dabo was pushing back hard on everybody. And I think it's because he is such a likable kid, and I think he does care like hell. And I think he does work his rear end off. But, when the game starts happening and everything is getting a little chaotic and hectic, can you process it quick enough? Can you make the right decision? Can you find that extra toughness to put your head down and get the extra yard to get the first down? No reason to think he can't do these things. But I think the way that Tokar spoke about him after practice, I think tempers the expectation that anybody has that he's going to go out and throw 35 touchdowns and run for 800 yards to where it's like, just manage the game right. You've got plenty of weapons around you. We're going to put you in the best spot to succeed. Trust us, and we'll all be okay. That's what I took away from it.
Okay. You know what's crazy about that? Because he was so bad. You said something about Dabo and staying with him. And I was like, man, I just don't know that's the right way to phrase that particular season. Because, yes, he was maligned. But so he was awful against South Carolina. His last game at Clemson, essentially, was against South Carolina. And I'll read you the stats. He was 8 of 29 for 99 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And he had a 59-yard throw. So the other 28 attempts, he totaled 40 yards total in 28 attempts. Awful. Probably the worst game he's ever played. But the game before that, they beat Miami 40-10. He was 23 of 35 for 233 and 2 touchdowns. He also ran 17 times for 89 yards. 89 yards. So then, and then the game before that was a 2-touchdown win over Louisville. He was 19 of 27. Obviously against Florida State, he was 15 of 23 for 203. And then the Wake game, he threw for 371 and 5 touchdowns. But the point being, if he hasn't taken this leap, if he's just that guy, like we've talked about, that should be pretty good. I do think he's mature. I don't think he's going to lose you games necessarily. But there was a throw today. I mentioned it, the Portier throw. He's wide open across the middle of the field, and he just throws it short. And it's like, what happened there, man? You can't miss that in a game. There are going to be some moments, maybe more than a few, where he's going to make us roll our eyes or throw our hands up and be like, what was that? But then, there was another moment. There's going to be more moments where they're like, okay, it's 3rd and goal from the 6. Nobody's open. Oh, DJ just bulled in for a touchdown. Like, there's going to be, you're going to have to put up with a little bad, but there's other stuff that he can do that I'm really excited to see that we haven't seen yet, because I do think he's a willing runner. Why wouldn't he be? And I do think they're willing to run him, because why wouldn't they be? So I think that aspect, I didn't realize that he ran for 90 yards against Miami. And I'm sure he was sacked a few times, so he probably netted over 100 yards rushing. And he's not a burner, we know that, but he's a willing runner. He's a big kid, and I think with one last shot at this, you're down 26-21 with 43 seconds left, and it's 3rd and 3 from the Georgia Tech 3. If he's rolling out to his right and there's a guy in front of him, I think he's going to get through him and to get in the end zone, or at least try. And I just think that's part of his – he has gotten better. Tuesday was a good day for him passing. But also I liked some of the stuff he did just kind of on the move. It's good to see that, because don't you think that's going to be a part of the game that we don't really talk about at all, is that added dimension? Again, because he's not Jordan Travis speed-wise. But I'm almost certain he's going to run for more yards than Jordan Travis did last year. Ooh. I guarantee it, if he's healthy.
He had a nice move at practice yesterday where I'm like, ooh, okay. Good job handling the read, zone read stuff right there. I see a young man. And people have been lamenting he's got a knee brace on. He's fine, everybody. I think it's been there for a while. It hasn't hindered him in any way, shape, or form, even if it's a thing. But I don't think it's a thing. Golly, what are Jordan numbers last year? I feel like that's like a bet we need to make, that maybe I'll shave my mustache or something.
Man, I bet he didn't run for. I bet he barely ran for 200 yards last year. It just wasn't a part of what he did.
Yeah.
Didn't need to. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they won all the games he played, so it wasn't like he
176.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the running element at the quarterback position, I think, will be back. It's not going to be as electric as it was with Jordan. You're not going to see DJ doing what he did against Florida in 2022. But you also didn't see Jordan. You saw Jordan do a lot of baseball slides where he could have gotten probably 5 or 6 yards, and we all appreciated it. But especially considering how the season ended for him. But DJ, you're going to see a lot of DJ, I think, muscling for first downs and just hopefully getting up and dusting himself off, no big deal. Because he's an enormous kid, and he's a physical kid, and he's a competitor. So I'm excited for him. And I also, defensively, there were a couple things I saw.
Well, hey, can we stick with DJ? I want to.
No, I want to talk. No, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So July 2nd, 2022, or August 2nd, 2022, I don't need anybody on a message board to tell me who DJ Uiagalelei is. Earlier that year, in July, before the season starts, my quarterback, and you mentioned him, the dude's a freak. People talk about him like he's some slap from East Abaga Community College. This guy can play the game at the highest level. He's going to play the game at the highest level.
No way Dabo said slap.
That's what this website's got. And it's a fairly reputable website.
That's a direct quote of Dabo?
It's a direct quote.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. That's crazy. All right, good for him.
He wasn't great last year. He was awesome as a freshman. He was awesome his whole career in high school. He's a winner. He's got all the tools, all the intangibles. He's better because of what he went through. He got benched when they played Syracuse in 2022. This is the week after they came into Doak Campbell Stadium and pretty much locked up winning the ACC Atlantic Division. DJ's our quarterback. There ain't no question about that. That's our guy. That's our leader. You can write that down now. DJ's our guy. So there's several times where he like went to bat for this kid. That's all. I just wanted to. It wasn't like some pass by comment at minute 22 of the pod. Like there's some research done behind it. But nonetheless.
Oh no, I got you. I'm saying, but DJ proved worthy of that defense, I guess, because he ended up winning 10 games that year. So and he was horrible against. I guess he was horrible against Syracuse. I didn't realize that they only won by 6. And he was 13-21, but he did throw 2 picks. But then the next game they lost to Notre Dame, and he played that whole game. But then after that, he played pretty well against Louisville and Miami, and then they benched him for good. But honestly, as we know now, right? Like this Florida State offense, I think it's definitely going to be better coached than the 2022 Clemson team was, and it's probably going to have more. It's got more talent around them and a better offensive line. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, DJ's gone from Clemson, and in 2 years he's gone, which was the power in the sport. 2 years later, he's in Tallahassee, and he has more talent around him than he did then. A better offensive line, probably. Certainly, I think a better play caller than he had in 2022. And that running back room has plenty of guys. I don't remember who Clemson's studs, if they had any stud receivers in 2022. I don't think they did.
No, they didn't.
But Shipley was a good player. The running backs were good. But I just think overall he's probably got more talent here, which is crazy to say. And I think he's proven he can be good enough. But there will be some head scratching moments. This is not. Look, man, I've said it before a lot. If he was an incredible quarterback, he wouldn't be still playing college football. He's got some work to do. He's not a finished product, and he's going to make some mistakes, and he's going to make some bad throws. He's going to make some throws that you're like, what in the world? And then he'll make 2 throws like he did today to Benson and Toafili, where you're like, sweet Moses, that was awesome. And he also is going to run in for a touchdown every game or 2. So there's a lot. I think there's a lot to feel confident about in a situation like I would assume. Shouldn't Florida State fans probably feel more confident about their quarterback than, like, I don't know, Michigan? Alabama even? Like Alabama, you got a kid that can run. He's an incredible athlete. That's about all you know. But like there aren't many teams, if you go through the top 20, that probably feel as at least comfortable with who they have at quarterback. The known, he's a known commodity than Florida State does right now. Not great, not incredible. Maybe he can be, but he's a known good college competent quarterback.
Corey Clark doubted me, but what we say on the internet, I think as Marcus Aurelius said, echoes for eternity. Corey Clark, we've got the audio. Apparently of Dabo saying this. Let's. I don't know. Maybe he didn't say, but let's see if he did.
My quarterback, and you mentioned him. I mean, this dude's a freak.
Yeah.
And people talk about him like he's some slapdick from East Aboga,
Right.
Community college. And this guy can play the game at the highest
How
level.
about that, Dabo? Dabo's got stuff to say, man. You'll come after my guy.
Yeah, DJ should have shirts that are like, I'm no slap. That's what he should be wearing underneath. Or that's crazy. I can't believe I don't remember that. Maybe we were caught up in our own thing because Florida State was playing and we were hoping they could have a turnaround season. But that's crazy that I just didn't think he what platform is that? His coach's show?
No, he was on Sirius XM, ACC Radio.
Awesome. Are you bleeping us every time we say it?
Yeah, I'm marking it down.
Okay, sorry about that.
No,
it's
you're
always
fine.
been one of my favorite
It's
cuss
great.
words, by the way.
I couldn't
It's
believe
a great
it too.
word.
The first site that came, so I type in Dabo Sweeney defending DJ Uiagalelei, and the first reference from that quote I pulled was a website that I don't find very reputable. So I took the entire quote and I Googled the quote, and it came up under like 10 different websites of differing credibility. One of them seemed a little bit legitimate, and then sure enough, they actually had the tweet embedded. They broke this out from the interview and tweeted it out, the Sirius XM College Radio, and it's embedded in the story. And I'm like, there's no way he really did. Did he? Yeah.
All right, Dabo, that's something. He loves the kid. He loves him.
So, yeah,
Not
but
enough
yeah.
to keep him the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably something that we haven't really dove too deep into about the running game. I know people want to talk about it, but it's hard to contextualize it with the way we watch them practice, and you really can't hit people. But that is a good
Correct.
thing, almost as we kind of wind up the show here before you mention the stuff about the defense. But I know Andy Staples and Ralph Russo from the Associated Press, I guess, teamed up on like a fake quasi playoff bracket based on if everything holds serve, let's say, with the way that the preseason poll is. They kind of like, this is what the playoff is going to end up looking like. And I wonder if you think about quarterbacks. Georgia at 1, you like Carson Beck probably more than DJ. I mean, Will Howard at Ohio State, I don't know. I mean,
I don't either.
Coin flip. UCF, I'm sorry, I got to plead ignorance. I don't know exactly who their quarterback is. I think it's a dual threat guy that runs pretty well.
Is it Mackenzie Milton still?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's not there anymore. I don't know who UCF's quarterback is.
Oregon would be, so Florida State would be third in this because even though they're 10th in the AP poll, they're the highest ranked, one of the highest ranked conference champions. So they'd be third. That's why UCF would be fourth. Oregon, I mean, I probably take Dylan Gabriel over DJ.
Yep, me too.
Alabama would be sixth. Jalen Milroe, I probably do just because he seems to have more of a ceiling. He's got more runway ahead of him. He hasn't played as much football. There's not as much to fall back on and be like, I don't like that. But I get it too. He didn't look all that great either for half the year.
And I think his greatest strength, his greatest trait is greater than any of DJ's greatest traits, if that makes sense. Like his athleticism and ability to make plays with his legs or avoid pressure is an elite level. I don't know other than arm strength, which honestly isn't that big a deal. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it isn't. Jordan Travis didn't have a great arm. He was awesome. I think DJ has elite arm strength, but I think Milroe is better at that one thing than DJ is at anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay, but still, I think that's a push at best. Yeah. I think DJ in this offense, I think that you might take DJ. I don't know. But you're right, ceiling because the Milroe's more of an unknown.
Yeah.
He's only started for 1 year, not 3 or 4, whatever DJ has.
7th is Ole Miss. I don't know, man. Jackson Dart's kind of a wild card, but I guess he's been with Lane for a few years now, so maybe you take just that familiarity with each other. Tennessee's got the Nico Emilovena. I can't even say his last name correctly, and I really do apologize. He's a supremely talented young man, but he has not played nearly as much football as DJ, so I probably will take DJ over him. I know I just said the inverse of Jalen Milroe not playing a lot of football, but follow me, everybody.
Well, Milroe started for a playoff team. Yeah. Like, he played the whole season. Now, again, he shouldn't have been in the playoffs, but he was.
Oklahoma quarterback, Jackson Arnold.
Bomar? Oh.
Rhett Bomar. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll take DJ over him. I don't know who Iowa's quarterback is.
Oh, that does not matter.
Yeah, West Virginia's quarterback, probably taking DJ over him. And then I don't know who App State has got at their quarterback, but I'll go with DJ. So, yeah, and when you look at it that way.
What were those teams? Why were that was a smorgasbord of football teams you just listed there?
It's based on if the AP preseason poll finishes, if that's the way the records end up finishing, or the order.
App State
finishes.
Is like 12th, ranked 12th.
Well, I mean, I guess they're not going to factor in the 9-3 Missouri team getting the wild card bid. I think it's just like, all right, we're going to hold it like this.
Oh, well, whatever. Yeah. So, but the point being, like, you look around the country. Everybody has quarterback.
Oh, wait,
everybody has quarterback.
I'm sorry, Corey. Maybe they're the Group of 5 champion because UCF would be the Big 12 champion.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's probably what it is.
Forgot they're in a big one now.
Yeah. So, obviously Carson Beck has proven he can play. Some of those other guys have proven they can play. Will Howard's proven he can play, but what's it going to be like? It's a lot different playing at Ohio State than Kansas State. What's that going to look like? The point being, you're in a better position with DJ than you would have been with Rodemaker, in my opinion, if he had stayed, and that's the route you went. Certainly better than if Brock Glenn or Luke Kromenhoek are your quarterback. Just take it from me, who's watched most of these practices. Those guys might be awesome. They are not close to DJ right now, in my opinion. This is a good situation. It's not great. You'd love Jordan to have 9 years where he could come back and play, but this is a pretty good situation with good guys around him, and I thought Tuesday was perhaps, hopefully, an important step in what this season can be because it just seemed a little more comfortable. And I know he was open, but I love that he saw Benson for that touchdown.
Yeah. All right, defensively, let's gas our guys up a little bit. We're not going to let just one day and and really only a few bad periods, because period 3 coming out the gates, it felt like it was going to play out the same way it had been most of this preseason. Period 3 did not go well for the offense at all. I think Ira pointed out in the wrap that he did with Jeff Cameron that like the first play, 11-on-11, period 3, where it's very time sensitive. There's a situation game aspect in terms of down and distance, clock, score. I mean, he doesn't even make a throw. And you're like, just do something here. You have to do something in this situation. I was like, man, I looked up at the replay monitor. There's nobody open. So he is looking. He is scanning the field. He's not skittish. It's just nobody got open. So the defense did a pretty good job of holding the offense in that early period, but the defense did bounce back at certain points, and maybe, Corey, you can underscore. And then I did want to point out this. Before period 3 started, they do individual work, and in the middle of the field, the kickers are going at it, and just, at least the field goal kickers, they're kicking their field goals, doing their thing. Man, Fitz kicked one off the Seminole logo, and he nailed it. And he was on the sideline. I'm like, Ryan, was that 50? He's like 56.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So yeah.
I saw him make a 57-yarder a couple of weeks ago. And then the Weinberg kid outside kicked a 45-yarder that hit high up on the practice facility.
Nice.
Like the legs are immense.
Strong.
They have very good legs. And overall, I thought it was the best day for the offense that I had seen, but that does not necessarily mean it was a bad day for the defense. They still did some things. Darrell Jackson, again, was very hard to block. I noticed Byron Turner more than once. And what I liked too, man, was there was a play. Blake Nicholson also almost had an interception. It ended up being Jalen Lucas caught the thing anyway off a tip. Really good read to dart over there and get his hand up by Nicholson. He just didn't quite. It was a really good play. It should have been a pass breakup if nothing else. And he also, Elijah Moore caught a pass on him, but it had to be a diving catch right by the sideline because Nicholson was right there in phase. And that's a receiver, a good one, that Blake Nicholson is running with. And, he's gotten bigger. We haven't talked about him a lot. It's hard to talk about linebackers that much when it comes to, there's just not a lot of tackling. There's not a lot of run game. But I thought he caught my eye more than once on Tuesday. And frankly, he's going to play a lot. But then there was a moment where Justin Cryer was in there, and he was screaming adamantly about the defensive lineman to move, like smacking him on the hip. You guys have all seen that, where a linebacker will get up and tap a lineman to move. And he was like smacking hard the guy to move over. And he did it 2 times in a row. And it's like, I love that he's taken that kind of ownership. Not only does he know the call and know what's supposed to be happening, but he's taken that ownership as a redshirt freshman to be emphatically yelling and demanding the big dude in front of him that has been here longer than him to move over and get where he's supposed to be. It's not a huge deal, but it's a nice sign to see your young linebackers starting to kind of feel themselves and get more and more comfortable in a role. They're gonna have to play. There's nobody else. Deloach and Bethune are gone. They're gonna have to play. DJ Lundy will be out there clearly. I think Omar Graham will play some too. But Nicholson and Cryer are gonna play a lot. And it's just good to notice them as much as I did on Tuesday.
Cade McNamara still at Iowa, maybe ahead of Deacon Hill right now on the depth chart. KJ Jefferson, 5th-year guy who's at Arkansas, now at UCF. That'll be potent. I don't think I'd want him over DJ, but that conference, Gus, and that quarterback, will probably be fun and exciting and productive.
Yeah, but I think Gus would rather. I might be wrong. I think Gus would rather have DJ, or it's close. It's like 51% to 49, right? There's not too many right now as we talk in the middle of August. Again, we'll see what I'm saying in the middle of October. There aren't too many teams out there. There aren't 70 teams out there where you're like, they have a much better quarterback than your guy. There probably aren't 10 teams out there that absolutely right now have a better quarterback than your guy. Because experience is so critical, man. No. And winning. It's not like he's experienced going 4-8 every year. The guy's won a ton of football games. I think he's 32-8, something like that as a starter.
Jeez, really?
And again, I know a lot of it is Clemson was very good, and they had an outrageously good defense in 2021. But 32-8, man. In the 40 games that he's played, or 30-10, whatever it is, he's won a ton of football games. He's been a part of a winning locker room, in a winning culture. He expects to win. He makes winning plays, or has in the past at least. I thought it was a good day, and again, I just think that running aspect it opened my eyes when I was like, oh yeah, he ran for 87 yards against Miami. Okay, that's not normal. Jordan probably ran for over 87 yards or 85 yards probably 4 times in his career, maybe. And maybe once after 2020 because he became more of a throwing quarterback. So it's just good to have he will be, I think, a dual threat. He's not going to be an 80-yard threat for a run, but he's going to get you a lot of 8-yard runs on 2nd and 6, I think.
All right, let's go out to practice again, Corey, shall we? Day 3 of 6 in a row for the Noles. We'll get to see 4 of them. So hit the website. Check it out. Observations, video, interviews, things of that nature. Live show very likely tonight at 6 p.m., boys and girls. Very likely.
We're having to do some alterations, right, because of travel, and then obviously what's coming up the next couple weeks with international travel.
Hey,
it's gonna be different, but hang with us, and we'll get on a normal schedule soon enough.
We are the People Show, and anecdotally, our guy James B, a pillar, by the way, can't bring the pillar to Ireland. I mean, I could, but it would be obscene. Sorry, everybody.
You should ship it.
Somebody said, I should pull that tweet up, by the way. Somebody said that they thought you were joking when you said you were going to ship a fan out to you, but they said you're actually a genius because they've arrived in London and they don't have any AC. Corey, you spoke in an episode that you were shipping your fan to Europe. Wish I was as smart as you. We arrived in London today, and apparently people don't believe in AC over here. Incredible forethought by you. Hashtag Go Noles, our guy Matt.
That's what I do. They call me Forethought. That was my nickname in high school. Apparently what we're doing, we're not shipping the fan. Stephanie's pulled a plan B. Ooh. We've got 2 travel fans, and then a nice listener emailed me something on Amazon that he bought, which is it's a noise machine that has a box fan sound to it, and it's loud. So I will get the air that I need from the 2 travel fans. They're small, so that you need 2 to equal 1. And then I'll get the air I need from that, and then I'll get the noise I need from this other contraption. So that's what's going to get me through. If my plane lands, that's what's going to get me through my European vacation. Nice. But yeah, shipping, man. It probably would have cost $200. I don't know how cheap it is to ship a box fan to a hotel in Ireland, but it's probably not cheap. So we did something different.
All right. So yeah, all that to say as well. Yeah, James B said that he's like, if my opinion matters, I like when the live shows are on Wednesday. So that's all the permission I needed to go ahead and say let's do it on a Wednesday. So maybe that'll start being the new home.
James B. Good work, James B. Yeah. We appreciate that, buddy.
All right, let's go out to practice. Jeff Cameron Show, 1 to 3 o'clock. Tune in. He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Warchant, presented by Vitamin Energy.